Whoops. Sorry, folks. You know me, I don't cut nothing out. Okay. This is Sandra-Golkowski of Life Pushing 80, because that's what I'm doing, pushing 80. And you've all been wanting to meet my husband, Bill. Here he is. And we're doing good. We just went to church and went out to eat with friends, and so he's been brave enough that he said he'll come on here and tell his side of the love story. So I won't put him through any more torture. We'll just let him do it now. Okay.
What am I doing? Well, first of all, let me say hi, y'all. Now that I'm from Tennessee, that's the way we talk down there. Anyway, retired. I was always from the Chicago area. Retired policeman, retired firefighter, and I've done many other things in my life. Real estate. I've done. I was a meat cutter at one time, a professional bartender, different things like that. I've done a lot of things. And 6 years ago, I got tired of the cold winters up in the Chicago area and everything else, and I moved to beautiful Tennessee, East Tennessee. I live on a mountain, and it's just beautiful where I'm at. But I met a lady down there and got married, and unfortunately my spouse passed away almost 10 months, probably closer to 11 months now that she passed away from the virus. And so what I did do was eventually I got on this dating site, Zeus, I think they call it. And was I into it? No, not at all. You're supposed to put some photos. I put one. You're supposed to put a profile. I put nothing but my basic stuff. And I really wasn't interested. I guess I got on there only because it was really getting lonely. When you are married and you have that wife around and everything, and she's gone, well, I was getting lonely. So I got on the site not expecting to really see or do anything. One day I was going through the site, and all of a sudden, this lady pops up. And I think I remember saying, hello. And I looked at her profile, I looked at her photos, and I said to myself, that's the girl. That's the one. And now I had to think, what am I going to do to win this lady's heart? What am I going to do? How could I even possibly think this is possible? Well, I am a Christian, and the first thing I did do was pray. Lord, guide me. This is the girl. This is the lady. Anyway, I put on a new profile, and I read Sandy's profile, and put on some new photos. In fact, I plagiarized part of her profile.
He cheated. He called it plagiarized.
Well, I figured any ammunition I could use to try to win this girl's heart, I was going to use it. So eventually I can't remember exactly how it all went, but I mentioned something about if she had read my profile, and she did, and she said something to the fact that, yeah, we are close, but you're so far away. That's 500 some miles, I think it is. And I had one comment. Do you remember what that comment was?
Love conquers all.
That's right.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
But I was serious about it. So eventually we were chatting online, and then we were texting one another, which finally led to phone calls. And we wound up, had a lot of phone calls, and a lot of them at 7 o'clock at night. And the reason for that was it seemed to be the loneliest time of the night when you're you don't have a spouse with you, when you don't have that special someone with you. So we got closer and closer and closer. And I even came up for a visit. It was a quick visit. We went out for lunch, and I went back the next morning, and wasn't
We
sure.
don't talk about it. Yeah.
Wasn't sure what we were doing or what.
It's so different when you really see each other. You know, we're just so used to our relationship being on the phone. And I have heard since then that happens. It's very common, but go ahead, honey.
So anyway, later we got to the point we were going to get married.
Oh, we continued talking again, remember?
Well, we continued
Yeah.
talking on the phone
Yeah.
and this and that. And next thing you know, we were getting married. I was coming up here, getting ready to get settled in. And I brought a ton of clothes with because I didn't know how long I was going to stay. I don't know what was going on. And
Oops.
anyhow, we're here and we're huggy stuff on the huggy bear on the couch and talking about stuff. And the next morning, I should have brought wool socks, is what I should have brought. Sandy tells me she's got cold feet. Well, I packed up, started heading back to Tennessee.
And I feel horrible.
And I was heartbroken. I was, but
I'm feeling guilty.
and didn't know how things were going to work out. You want to take it from here?
Yeah, you don't like this part.
Yeah.
Well, he no sooner was pulling out of the driveway, I got a text message from a man that I had been dating prior to you, I think it was. And he knew, and well, I was still talking with this other guy. And so he knew I was getting married because I quit talking to him and told him I was going to get married. So he knew the day, I guess, that I was going to get married or wedded, or I'm not sure. This couldn't have been, though, because this was before. Anyways, lo and behold, I get a text message, and it's him, and he wanted to know if I'm married yet. And I said, well, no. As a matter of fact, he's just pulling out of the driveway right now, heading back to Tennessee. I go, I just got cold feet. I don't know, I just couldn't do it. And he goes, well, how about I come over and we'll have, and I order a pizza and we can talk. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And I go, because it's like 50 some miles. And he goes, no. And so pretty soon he talked me into it. And so he came over, and we had such a nice evening. It had pizza and kissy huggy too. I'll be honest with you, And I mean, it had nice, but you know what? I didn't have to marry this guy. It was like more relaxed. I didn't have to think about the seriousness, And then the next day he called again, and he wanted to pick me up and take me to his house, and he was going to have a cookout, blah, 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 make this fast. Because build it like here. But I went to his house, had a cookout. Everything was real nice. And then all of a sudden I'm thinking, what? The next day I'm thinking, what am I doing? I don't want to marry this guy. We have nothing in common. He has no heart for the Lord at all. And actually he doesn't want marriage. But he was starting to get serious now because he was wanting me to be exclusive with him. And I guess he had been dating several, like 20 some women he'd been out with, and then he just said, what am I doing? The only connection I have is this little blonde in Crown Point. So now I'm afraid he is getting serious. I'm like, oh no, what if he's getting serious? And I think, I don't want to marry him. I mean, Bill and I have everything in common, and he's a Christian. And so finally I called the other guy up and told him, I can't see you anymore. And then I said, Bill and I'm going to give him another try. We're going to try to see each other. And then he says, well, I expected that. So anyways, then I called Bill and I said, what do you think about us maybe spending some time together? You could pick me up, because he's clear in Tennessee and I'm in Indiana. So we're like how many hours, honey? About 8 hours.
8 hours.
About 8 hours apart. And Bill says, boy, it sounds like a good idea to me. So he come up and he picked me up and we went to, and I think I've told the story on the other way, we went to the Creation Museum, we went to the Ark, we drove the back roads of Kentucky and did a lot of talking, beautiful drive. And then after, I think it was a couple days, something like that.
Well, then we went to my place in Tennessee,
Yeah.
where she could finally see her.
And we had separate bedrooms.
We did have separate bedrooms.
Okay.
Yes, we
And-
did.
and
we behaved
then-
ourselves. We're not married.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
and we are Christian.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna,
Yeah. It's not easy, really.
but anyway.
But anyways, then we were in the living room, and then I didn't want to say this to him, but now I'm getting convinced, that this would be a good thing. But I didn't want to say it unless I really meant it this time after what I'd done to him. So finally I said, okay, I will. And he goes,
Well, what?
he goes, I will marry you. He goes, you will? he was a happy guy. And so we ended up, well, go ahead, you can tell the rest of that.
Well, we went to the courthouse, got the marriage license. I got a hold of one of the pastors from my church, and we arranged to have the wedding, and they even put some nice stuff together for us to fix it up a little bit. And we, on the 18th of July.
And we wore cowboy boots because we were in Tennessee.
Yeah, well, we did.
We got married in
cowboy
cowboy
boots. And we did get married. And you know what? So far, it's working out great. It really is.
And he's good to my dog, so don't worry.
Oh, yeah.
He's very good to me. He spoils
Me and my
me.
dog.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
Millie has kind of adopted me. So, but anyway, we are doing fine. We're doing good. We decided that we can't live in two places, so we're selling hers and we're going to move to Tennessee, at least temporarily. And we'll see what happens with that. And but the more Sandy sees Tennessee, the more she's realizing what a beautiful state it is and what beautiful people they are.
I love the people in Tennessee.
Yeah, and so we'll see what happens. But everything looks. I mean, I for one was not going to give up on this girl, and when she called me back about going on a little vacation, I'm all for it. And here we are. We did. Love did conquer. It did. So. And yeah, it was, I don't know how many miles, how many trips I made. Doesn't matter. Worth every minute, every mile.
He's just a great guy. I love him. Okay,
And I love you.
I just wanted you guys all to know that everything's okay. He's not a serial killer or anything like that. Everything's all right. And so, don't be afraid to go on the dating site. And I am going to do a video on that, on the dating site. Okay, I can help you girls out if you're interested, if you're not afraid. If you want to stay single, wonderful. Make sure you have a lot of good friends and don't just sit at home. Get involved with things in your community. But if you decide you want to get married, go for it. Get on Zeus. You don't have to get married, but even if you find some guys just to go out with, to go to the theater, go out to eat, something like that, And you only need one good guy, right? You don't need a whole lot of them, just one. Just like when you're looking for a house, you look at a lot of houses and there's one, all you need is one. So, okay, so we haven't got a scripture to give him. I should have had something ready.
We should.
Okay. Greater is he that's within you than he that's within the world. Just remember that, folks, so you can conquer anything because you have Jesus in you. And if you don't, ask him in your heart. That's all you got to do. He's ready to come in there and change your whole life.
He is what brought us together.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the truth. We believe God's done this. And if he did it for us, he'll do it for you guys. Because he loves you just as much as he does us. So,
Even more.
Like what? Okay, guys. Bye-bye. Love you.